Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we'll be talking about debut titles for 2026. I can't believe I just said it. Why do we have like one more month until 2025 is done? That is just so wild for me. And it's a really dark color, like it is gloomy, but like we still need a light on at like 4:30. What the heck? And I even saw some white things falling down. I'm like, that better not be snow. It was. But like, what the heck, man? 4:30 and so dark. It's like starting to be dark now. And in half an hour it's gonna be like completely dark at 5 p.m. Whatever. Welcome to winter, I guess. But that's good. We have an hour extra for sleep. So I will take it, I guess. But anyways, let's get going. My first book is Fire to the Stars by Morgan J. Warchorn. Every month, the Kingdom of Florence braces for ignition, a solar event that turns ordinary humans into vicious dragon shifters, and anyone can be a dragon's next victim. Claire knows this all too well because the ignition consumed her and her father, her town, and the life she thought she would have. Now she's creeping by on her wits as part of a sisterhood of thieves, lying, stealing, her heart locked tight, until she tracks down a disgraced dragon slayer who may be the one person who can give her back the life she once had. A bill has been shunned by the prestigious Slayer Guild for conducting research that too unorthodox to condone. But as no one Claire trusts more than the rule breaker, that research might be the one thing that can help her. So when Abel reveals his return to business as usual, Claire tries to hire him under false pretenses. Abel, however, is reluctant to accept the job from a criminal, no matter how charming she is, and yet he really needs the money. Together, Claire and Abel will race to get through Florence and uncover dangerous secrets in the quest for forgiveness and survival, but that knowledge may cost them the very thing they have grown desperate to protect, each other. And this will be published on January 1st, 2026. Although it's kind of weird because it says first published on January 1st, 2025. So I don't know when it will exactly come out. Maybe it's just like a hardcover of it or like a paperback version, but we will see. Alright, my next one is I Wish So Deadly by Malaire's Lockstone. Legends are never forged without a ruin. When Talia unwittingly steals cursed jewels from a powerful Soul Reaper, she pays the ultimate price. The Soul Reaper takes her sister's souls. Desperate to save her sister, Talia strikes a deal. She will enter a deadly magical tournament, and if she survives, she will claim the prize of her wish, the only payment the Soul Reaper will accept in exchange for the return of her sister. But the tournament can only be won in pairs. Talia is paired with Terran, the Soul Reaper's brooding, mysterious protege harboring secrets of his own, and they must find a way to work together if they are going to make it through the deadly trials of life. And as Talia's feelings for Terran grow, the stakes gets even higher. She realizes the ultimate place might just be her heart. Comes out on March 12th. And we have another book called I Fate Worse Than Drowning by Sarah L. Hawthorne. It will come in July 21st, but so fun. And apparently it just says, but that's all we have. We will see what happens. My next book is Midnight on the Celestial by Julia Alexander. Laura Deborah Cruz has never been afraid of the dead. Her power to summon spirits is all the guests of her esteemed family's galas for as long as she can remember. Her future is certain, and her gift will be another shining jewel in the Deborah Cruz legacy. But when she fails her realm's trial to keep her magic and is deemed too dangerous for society, she faces a harrowing choice: give up her gift or serve a punishment sentence aboard the Celestial, a luxurious magical cruise ship where staff members compete for guest votes to earn a coveted retrial. As a concerned Rowan juggles the demands of affluent guests, cruel bosses, and suspicion that an infuriatingly handsome Silks performer, Ivan Lund, is determined to keep her from retrial. But the true danger surfaces after her shift ends when the Celestial transforms into hordes of nightmares that kill staff members after dark. Faced with the reality of serving aboard, Ro begins to dark history she's wrongly framed for a guest murder. Vowing to conjure her own second chance, Ro will use whatever power she has to uncover the secrets of the ship, her family, and the entwined bloody past before she becomes the Celestial's next victim. comes out on March 3rd. My next book is called Protégé of Tiger by Samantha Chung. For 5 years, Caroline Chua has lived in exile from her home and family in Malaysia at the Magical Academy in New York City, far enough away that she can help people she loves. That's until she is abruptly summoned home in an emergency. Her beloved older brother, Aaron, who is next in line to become the protector of the island, has vanished. And now back in Penang, she can't help but notice the things that don't feel the same as they once did, and it's unclear if she's changed or the island. Despite her family's desire to keep her close and the captain's explicit instructions to stay out of trouble, stubborn, self-sufficient Caroline is hell-bent on saving her brother with or without anyone's help. But when it turns out that Aaron has been kidnapped by a vengeful ghost with a centuries-old grudge, even Caroline must admit she's in over her head and will need the help of the friends she had abandoned, including her first love, JJ. The ghost goals are simple: break the barriers between the ghost and mortal realms during the Hungry Ghost Festival, using Aaron to take the island's magic, and cement the rightful place as the true, albeit dead, rulers of the island. With only 7 days before the barrier weakens, Caroline is in a race against time to save her brother. But as enemies stack up, always one step ahead, Caroline can't help but wonder if she's strong enough for this battle, or is she doomed to repeat the mistakes that sent her away all those years ago. Comes out on March 17. My next book is Once Upon a Song by Nadine Bells. Welcome to the Hotel de Liege. Let yourself be swept away by its grandeur and glamour, but beware, the cold may swallow you whole. When lonely waitress Anna lands a job as a singer at the prestigious Hotel de Liege, she believes it to be the beginning of a fairy tale, yet she soon finds that in those eerie halls, the line between Cinderella's story and Gothic nightmare blurs. Sinister dreams cause her to sleepwalk, a ballerina make ominous threats, and a phantom in white haunts the hotel and Anna. As Anna discovers that the hotel's last singer lost his life under mysterious circumstances, she needs to decide if happily ever after is worth it. She knows she cannot trust her secretive colleagues or the charming but elusive hotel manager Dimitri. All Anna had ever wanted was to belong, but at the Hotel de Liege, they made me never leave me again. Comes out on January 23rd. I don't know if this is a retail or Phantom of the Opera. It kind of reminds me of that. My next book is Illustrious Dog by Loretta Shevchelny. Often as a baby, Shay has spent her life training at the midwife's apprentice. Her roles grant her stability, yet Shay has always yearned for more, namely motherly affection and answers regarding her mysterious birth, neither of which the midwife deems practical to provide. After Shay discovers her birth mother Hind is still alive and addicted to a magical drug called snow, she determines to get the woman clean. But when Hind betrays Shay to get her hands on more snow, Shay is abandoned within a deadly forest and forced to rely on bland, monstrous ghouls for safety. Shay's will has long stood on the brink of war between the men who control magic and the revolutionaries who want to eliminate it. But in the forest, Shay hears the pleading call of an ancient spirit who claim that not only has magic been stolen, she has the power to return it. With the help of a Spitfire revolutionary and boy capable of winning her heart, Shay discovers the horrific truth of producer Snow and will have to decide for herself whether to heed the spirit's charge or fade into obscurity. Comes out on May 1st. My next book is called The Blood Weaver by C.A. Custer, a divisive magic and shattered family of brewing world. In a world where some can manipulate life with a single touch, siblings end up on rival sides, forced to reckon with the choices that led them here. 3 generations ago, ancient and mysterious beings introduced the world to the arcane art of blood weaving, which allows inspectioners to manipulate life with merely a touch. Now blood weavers must hide in plain sight or risk being hunted by violent renegade soldiers known as breakers, who will stop at nothing to eradicate weaving once and for all. Though his family's vineyard has flourished thanks to blood weaving, Carrick de Lavina has kept his powers a secret from everyone, including his beloved fellow triplets, May and Emile. When a squad of bikers arrives on the day of Emile's wedding, Carrick weaves himself a new face and flees to protect his family, setting out in search of the Ravel, a secret society of blood weavers who stand on the precipice of an uprising. Meanwhile, Emile's girlfriend is identified as a blood weaver and arrested. Devastated by so much loss, Mel hatches a plan to get captured and same raid, hoping to protect her love at all costs, even if it means allying herself with the breaker's ruthless commander and serving the very force that tore her family apart. As a consequence of the siblings, their diverging paths ripple across a divided and hostile world. Both of them must eventually face the same question: is blood weaving a miracle or a curse? Comes out on June 23rd. My next book is Burn the Sea by Mona Tawari. To protect her homeland, one queen must fight her people's historic enemy, once and for all. Albaka Chawata never expected to be queen. The youngest of rulers to vacuum bodies, Albaka has spent years of rigorous combat training to become her sister's blade, but when the monsters Pashuki attempt to lay claim to Nala, Albaka's world and fate are abandoned. The Pashuki had giant half-man, half-snakes who attack from the sea, haven't been seen in Ula since their failed invasion more than 50 years ago. But now they're back with vengeance and a choice, to pay them fits or suffer total devastation. Soon Albaka's definitions of strength, subterfuge, and statecraft are put to the test. Will marriage to a neighboring king give her the resources she needs to protect her people, or will she watch her homeland be crushed beneath the waves of would-be colonizer? And this is a historical fantasy of the Portuguese attacks on South India in the 1500s. Comes out on April 21st. My next book is The Poet Empress by Shen Tao. In the waning years of the Azala dynasty, the empire is dying. The land consumed by famine and poetry, magic lost to all except the powerful. Yin is desperate. After the fifth death of a sibling with her family village on the brink of starvation, she will do anything to save those she loves, even offer herself as a concubine to the cool hair of the beautiful and brutal Azalea house. By a twist of fate, the palace stands on the knife edge of civil war with Wei trapped in the center, at the side of a violent prince. To survive, Wei must harden her heart, rely on her wit, and become dangerous herself, even if it means becoming a poet in the world where women are forbidden to read, and composing the most powerful spell of all, a ballad of death and love. Comes out on January 20. So I already touched base on this book, so I'm going to quickly go over some details about it. It's Lady Made by Rachel Holhoster. So this is a reimagining of Cinderella as told through the eyes of its iconic evil stepmother, rebuilding a propulsive love story about the lengths of a mother would go for her children. Ethel de Vita is now settled with the care of her two children, a priggish stepdaughter and a razor talent Pleasuring Falcon. Her entire life has become a ruse, just like the manor hall to live grand and ornate on the exterior, but crumbling brick by brick inside. Fierce in the face of her misfortune, Ethel clings to her family's respectability, the lifeboat that will float her daughter straight into the secure banks of marriage. Alright, and the last one is Deadly Fates by Tia Taza. As a corpse-driving priestess, a holy spirit paid to guide the deceased home, Kang Stilving has never feared death. But when her beloved father collapses due to his declining health, Saying realizes that she is not free from the cruel grasp of mortality. Desperate to provide her father with the medical aid he needs, Saying accepts the dangerous job that promises a generous commission and travels to a hostile state to retrieve the corpse of a missing prince. But the moment Saying places a reanimation talisman on a dead prince's head, rather than make the corpse obedient to Saying's commands, the talisman brings back the prince back to life. Once he won't stay alive for long, not unless he absorbs enough ki or life force to keep his soul anchored to his body. In return for a reward, with thrice her original commission, Saying agrees to aid the frustrated handsome prince in finding purifying evil spirits for the key. And by as they journey across his countryside, encountering vengeful ghosts and enemy spies alike, they gradually uncover dark secrets about the prince's death, secrets that could endanger both Saying's father and the entire kingdom. Comes out on April 14th. Alright, so those are all the books that will be coming out next year. There will always be more. But regardless, I think it's a pretty good list to start off for your next year's reads. Let me know what you guys are most interested in, and please like, comment, and subscribe. So let me know if I never time post. I will see you on my next one. Bye!